I always see a number of proxy statements each year. In all except Berkshire, the summary compensation table has the compensation listed for at least 5 or more of the highest paid executives. Berkshire lists 3, Warren, Charlie, and Mark. Would you, in the spirit of transparency, be willing to add at least 2 of the highest paid subsidiary officers in the table in future years?
We obviously are following the SEC rules, which I can't recite, in terms of the officers required to be in the proxy statement as to their pay. But Andrew, in my sporting mood, I would say that Comcast probably has some people in the employ that make a lot more money. I'm not at CNBC, we're not, but that would exceed the salaries of the people that they list in the proxy statement as well. And there's a real question as to whether it's in the interest of the shareholders of the company to start listing, how much the person who's the anchor of the nightly news or whomever it might be gets paid, because it might have a very negative effect in terms of negotiating salaries with other people within the organization. I would say that the shareholders of Comcast would be hurt, actually, if you published the 5 highest salaries paid at the subsidiaries or at Comcast itself, and certainly if you carried it to every subsidiary there was. I mean, if you were to publish the 5 highest salaries at CNBC, I don't think the salaries overall would go down the following year. So I think that's a good reason for us not publishing the salaries of say our top 10 managers of the company. At Solomon, we mentioned that a little earlier. Virtually everybody was dissatisfied with what they were getting paid, and they were getting paid enormous amounts of money. But they were disappointed, not because of the absolute amount. They were disappointed because they looked at somebody else in the place, and it drove them crazy. I think it's very seldom that publishing compensation accomplishes much for the shareholders. In fact, you can argue that much of what's going on in corporate America, well, I would put it this way: corporate CEOs as a group would be being paid a lot less money if proxy statements hadn't revealed how much other people were getting paid. It is only human to look at a whole bunch of proxy statements and say, well, I'm worth more than that guy, and negotiate that way, and a comp committee is going to respond to that. So American shareholders are paying a significant price for the fact that they get to look at that proxy statement every year and see how much those top 5 officers are earning. There's no CEO that looks at other proxy statements and comes away thinking I should get paid less. I mean,